welcome back to part 2 of episode 16. Yes, episode 16 of I Think You Think, and you can find part 1 most likely wherever you found this one, or if you're having trouble, you can find a link to the whole playlist in the underbar. So without further ado, topic number 2. And what goes perfectly with Easter?
Zombies.
Zombies. Of course, you know, what doesn't go with zombies?
Peanut butter and zombies. Works for me.
I think you can make it work.
Ooh, you ever had a Captain and Zombies? It's a delicious drink.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh.
I'm just making things up off the top of my head. I mean, we
could. That actually sounds like a good drink.
I want to try one.
Oh.
I just want to order it. That's all I want to do. I don't need to drink it. I just want to be able to walk up to a bar and be like, oh, I'll take a Captain and Zombies.
Yes, sir. Clap. Glug, 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 glug. Wonderful.
And actually, there's a whole tie-in because on Easter is the season finale of The Walking Dead.
It is indeed. It is indeed. And I am all caught up. Are you all caught up?
Oh, yeah. I watch it. Even though I have to be at work at 5 in the morning on most Mondays, I still watch it that night on Sunday night.
Yeah. And any of you who have not started watching it, start watching it. It's not a kind of TV show that you can kind of turn on in the background while you're doing something else. You do have to kind of pay attention. It kind of demands your attention.
Yeah, and it's worth every moment of attention.
It's good. They're ending the third season, right?
Yeah, second half of the third season.
Yes. So this is the season finale. I did hear that they have signed up for. There is a fourth season, so this isn't the end, which is good. Because it's a great show. All the characters are fun. They got some good actors doing the stuff, and there are some oh my god moments, and there are some you just killed who moments. So it is kind of like in that original vein of the horror movie in the sense that anyone can die at any time.
Oh, yeah.
And so you get that starting from the first season all the way until the third season. So for those of you who are more, who want to go a different route, there is a Walking Dead graphic novel you can read that came out that was original. The television series is based off of that graphic novel. The general arcs are the same. But a lot of some of the characters are different. There's actually characters in the TV show that don't even exist in the comic book. And there are things that happen in the comic book that, certain people die in the comic book who are still alive in the TV show and vice versa. So, I mean, there are some differences. So you will get some information from the comics that you wouldn't if you read that first, that would help you in the TV show, but not all of it will help you.
Yeah, I don't know, because I read, because it kind of lines up, because it's, I think 6, normal size comics equal one of their graphic novels.
Okay.
Each graphic novel equals a season. So I read, the first one, the second one, and the third one while the second season was going on.
Okay.
And then the entire time through the third season, I'm waiting for these things to happen. That happened in there, feeling like I spoiled it for myself. You know what I mean?
And
some of the things I had read in there hadn't happened.
Okay.
So it was, either way though, whether it happened or not, it kind of left me with a sense of expecting something, and whether I'm disappointed it didn't happen or, I don't know. I don't have an answer on that, but it was kind of frustrating.
Do you wish that you had read the graphic novel after you had seen the season then?
Yes,
okay.
That'd be my preference. Or to just, I have considered going and just reading the whole thing, back to front and getting all the way to the end. So there's so much information that I've gathered that, there's no way it's going to be on, I'll know, you already know kind of that it's not going to actually line up, but just get so much read that I'm just beyond it.
Right. Or even see, I see what they're doing there, or they're doing something different with that character. Um, but not so in kind of the vein of zombies. One of the kind of jokey things that I always like to bring up, and how zombies, because I mean zombies and Easter, some people might not get it. We talked a little bit about it a couple of days ago with what the religious connotation of Easter was, the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, which anytime if a person dies and then is brought back to life, I think zombie, or undead or something like that. So there is a kind of this idea of the undead. Um, I had made a video on my YouTube a while back, kind of as just a joke. It's a joke. It's not a joke I came up with. Many people have used this joke in the past. But there are a few verses in the Bible that can be, I will use air quotes here, interpreted to mean zombies. I don't think that that's at all what the original writers meant, but it's fun, and so completely in the vein that this is intended to be a joke. I don't want to get all these nasty emails. Oh, that's not what it says, and you don't know anything about the Bible. No, this is intended to be a joke. But it's interesting. So here we go, and you can look these up. I don't have the specific version of the Bible that I am taking these from, but kind of just looking at the wording, it looks like New King James Version. So here we go, Matthew 27, so it's in the New Testament, 51 through 53. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent, and the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose and came out of the graves after his resurrection. That's after Jesus' resurrection. And went into the holy city and appeared unto many. So what do you think, James?
So biblical zombies?
Biblical zombies. Of saints, evidently. I mean, they came out of their graves, they went into the city and appeared unto many.
Yeah, it's nice to know where the zombie myth originated now.
Well, see, that would be from Matthew. So that's a New Testament book. Matthew was written about the late first century. I think the earliest scholars will attribute it to about 60 AD. Or I'm mixing up Matthew and Mark. Somebody can correct me. But either way, there's my biblical studies education.
So the fact that I was really impressed with the fact that by the way the verse is written, you could tell which version of the Bible it was from. That was very impressive. I do not have even an inkling of the knowledge that it would take to achieve that little goal that you did right there. That was pretty amazing.
Oh, well, and I do have some credentials, I guess. No.
Let's not ruin it.
All right, so this other one is from Zechariah. So Zechariah is in the Old Testament. Old Testament obviously typically predates the New Testament. Actually, it definitely does, by several hundred years. I think the earliest Old Testament book is from 200 or 300 BC. Once again, feel free to correct me. But anyway, this is Zechariah 14:12. This one is probably my favorite, and I just found this one a few days ago. So now this will be the plague with which the Lord will strike all the peoples who have gone to war against Jerusalem. Jerusalem, as a background, Jerusalem is the capital city, but it's meant as the people of Israel, because Israel is the chosen people of Yahweh. Their flesh will rot while they stand on their feet, and their eyes will rot in their sockets, and their tongues will rot in their mouth. On that day, a large-scale panic from the Lord will spread among them. One person will grab the hand of another, and one will attack the other.
I think that's the series premiere of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I know, right? So I got these. Obviously, I got these verses from the Bible, but I was reading them directly off of this fun little website called the zombieresearchsociety.com. Actually, it's not the zombie research. It's just zombieresearchsociety.com. So feel free to go and check it out. They've got T-shirts and stuff, and evidently a blog. I haven't really looked into it too much, but he kind of talks about whether or not the Bible is actually talking about zombies, and he basically says the same thing I did: is no, they aren't talking about zombies. It's meant but you can use them and quote them as being fun. Zombies in the Bible, because it's interesting.
Yeah. God, I remember, I mean, like with The Walking Dead, and I think movies like Zombieland and even Shaun of the Dead before it, um, zombies, I mean, The Walking Dead is the pinnacle of this little movement, but have really brought that to the forefront of pop culture again.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember being like 12 or 13 and renting like the original Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead and Night of the
Dawn of the Dead was one of my favorite Romero zombie movies.
Oh yeah,
that's the one where they're in the mall.
Right.
And that whole idea was just awesome to me. I was so pissed off when they lost the mall.
Yeah.
Now that I've given away the movie. If you haven't seen a movie from the 1970s, spoiler alert. Sorry about that.
Our bad, I guess.
Whoops. I'll try to, curtail my spoiling of 40-year-old movies next time. Anyway, yes. Oh, yeah, the classics. And Night of the Living Dead, which I think was probably one of the very first... I think it was the first movie to really implement zombies in that, the undead kind of flesh-devouring creatures. I don't think that there were concepts of zombies prior to that, but they were typically zombies associated with voodoo
and magic of some sort,
things like that, not just this undead. And for those classic Romero ones, except for the later ones. The later ones, they start getting into more of the why is this going on? And there's people doing the research. But Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, there really isn't anything. It's just there's this zombie apocalypse going on. Yeah. And so right now we've got Walking Dead. You had said Shaun of the Dead, which great movie. If you guys haven't seen it, go see it. It is hilarious, and it's a perfect zombie genre comedy.
Oh yeah. If it wasn't for that movie, I don't think Zombieland would have ever been made.
Yep, and Zombieland's another great one. And I describe Zombieland as a coming-of-age teen movie set in a zombie apocalypse.
Right. I think the box on Shaun of the Dead says a romantic comedy.
It is.
With zombies.
Yes. And then Warm Bodies, just recently, I believe, hit theaters.
Some of my workers saw it, and they said it was all right. It's like could have waited for Blu-ray, but it was decent.
Yeah, it's one of those that when I saw the commercials for it, I thought, oh, okay, it looks kind of interesting, kind of fun, and I will watch it. I probably am not going to go see it in theaters.
Right.
Unless like suddenly a big group of my friends are like, let's go see it. And I'll be like, okay. So, and that's exactly.
With the crowd.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the rest of us sheep.
Yeah, I mean, well, there have been a ton of movies. I mean, those are two really good examples of kind of expanding the genre by putting it in more of a comedy setting. But I mean, there's also a ton of video games. I know I don't play Call of Duty games, but I know they have, the Nazi zombie mode.
Yep.
Which seems to be pretty popular with people. For those that have an Xbox, the Left 4 Dead games 1 and 2. And I think I remembered reading somewhere that they were planning on making a 3, but you never know. Rumors and all that stuff. I think it's Dead Rising.
Yes.
Where the guy's stuck in the mall. I never played it.
Dead Rising 2 is in the mall. I don't think that the first Dead Rising was in a mall. But I don't recall because I never played that one, because that game came out during, and here's a little bit of gaming history for you. That game came out in one of the pinnacle changes of video game design and video game playing, where the entire game was tested, built, and made on high def TVs. And so they didn't have any concept of the fact that no one was going to be able to read any of the text on standard def TVs.
Oh yeah, I suffered the consequences of that actually before I had gotten my TV. I was still writing out an old. It was a big TV, but it was an older,
Yep.
older
Yep. Same here.
model, and I was one of the Need for Speed games. I don't remember which one, but I couldn't read any of the dialogue. Like when it was picking cars, it's like, wow, I'll take that one because it's pretty,
Yeah. Yeah. You couldn't read
because
anything. Yep.
yeah, or like it was more expensive, or well, I unlocked it, so I'm going to assume that it's better than the one I've been driving, because it's the next one in the hierarchy of cars. But I couldn't read the details at all.
Yeah, yeah, I had no idea. Yeah, and that's one of the things that turned me off to that game. And I said, oh well, they screwed up. Maybe they'll fix it. They kind of talked about it, and then it became like a non-issue. They just like said, well, this is the way the games are going. I mean, you're going to have to get a high def TV. Is
Yeah.
basically the route that they went. And I bought a high def TV, not specifically for playing video games, but it was definitely an important thing to me about the fact that because I play a lot of video games.
Oh yeah. Do you play Left 4 Dead?
I do not Left 4 Dead. I play Left 4 Dead 2,
Okay, yeah.
but basically everything in Left 4 Dead is now available in Left 4 Dead 2.
Yes.
So because they released pretty much everything from Left 4 Dead as downloadable content for Left 4 Dead 2, and I'm pretty sure I have all the downloadable content for it. Um,
Okay, I haven't bought any of it yet, but I'm interested. I love the game. It's
it
fantastic.
is good. It's got great multiplayer co-op, which makes it fun. They even have a competitive mode in which one team plays as the survivors and another team plays as the super bad zombies. I can't think of what they're called right now. The
Oh, there's
The special,
the
the special
yeah.
infected. Yeah, there's the normal infected, which are your typical kind of zombies, and then there's the special infected that have special abilities and powers and things like that. It's a great game. It's good to play because you can play for an hour and get through an entire campaign, or you can just pick it up and dive into a game and play for 15 minutes and then jump out, uh,
Right, right.
which are great games for any kind of player. It's a first person shooter, and it's been pretty much get from this location to that location and try not to die.
Yeah, and I mean it's a fantastic game. I mean, in its own right, Zombies No Zombies, it is one of my favorite games. It's the game I took out of my Xbox when I picked up BioShock Infinite a couple days ago.
Okay, there you go.
Um, but I mean, I think just like looking back, I mean, when you look at media, there's a great TV show which is based on a great graphic novel. There's some fantastic movies out there, new and old. Uh,
And not to cut you off, but Walking Dead, there was a game that just released, and in addition to that, there was arcade games that released for the Walking Dead franchise.
yes,
So those
I've
are
played
also
the arcade game, but not the other game that's been released.
yes, I haven't played that one, and I've started the arcade game, but I haven't even made it through the first chapter yet. So
Right. But yeah, and then I mean, a large variety of video games. I mean, I think Left 4 Dead, for my money, is the peak of it. But like I said, I haven't dived into the other ones as much. But I just know, like looking at sites that review video games, they definitely don't get the ratings that Left 4 Dead series has. Um, I know there's some really good series of actual books out there. I, at this moment, cannot remember the authors, but if you look up like zombie novels or zombie series, that's how I attract them down. Um, it feels like any form of media, has got zombie material out there, and right now there's enough good stuff in every category, to keep people interested. How long that can last, I don't know. Um, but I think Walking Dead, three more seasons minimum.
really,
I think so.
wow, that's you're
I mean,
giving you're for me. I would say, um, it depending on how the fourth season goes, they might have a fifth season, but I don't think that there would be a sixth season.
Well, they are in the like 18th or 19th as far as the graphic novel goes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I mean, as far as material, and I mean, obviously, they're not following it page for page by any stretch of the imagination. But as far as material, there is a ton of stuff that they have to work with. And I mean, it's clearly a cash cow right now.
Right. Right.
So even if they turned over all the actors, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
I will say that movies aren't done yet. Coming out this summer is World War Z.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
That
the
comes
Max
out.
Fluck.
That looks amazing. That I might actually go see in the theaters only because it looks very epic in terms of its scale.
Right, right.
Some of the shots that I've seen in the trailers for it, just they look like something that you would really want to see on the big screen.
Yeah.
I hope that the story is good, and I hope that it's just not like another Avatar in the sense that great, awesome graphics with a really kind of driving actiony-ness to it, but
Right.
with a really kind of dull, boring story.
Well, I mean, it is based on a book, which doesn't mean they didn't ruin it when they made the movie.
That's true.
But at least it's based on a very successful book. So at least, they started off with some good material. Don't know what they did with it, but they started off with something good.
And kind of so we've got about 5 minutes left, and there's one kind of big sort, and it's kind of late to to open up this chest, but so there are lots of different types of zombies, from the Night of the Living Dead shambling walkers, to in 28 Days Later, they were these mad, crazed, running at you full tilt, ripping doors off the hinges, to these, I Am One, in which I think it's I Am One. That sounds right.
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. That's it. Thank you. Sorry.
You're welcome.
Um, and where they're these kind of beast like creatures, and
Yeah.
so obviously, ideally, the type of zombies that I would prefer to go up against is the shambling, slow sort of walkers. I would assume that you would agree.
Yeah. Yeah. My zombie preparedness plan is completely wrapped around that idea.
Okay, all right. Um, Now, an argument that my brother and I have is, if it was just shambling walkers, and even if on the first day, like 50% of the population is turned, he doesn't think that they would be effective enough to actually, create like an actual sort of zombie apocalypse in which humanity is pretty much wiped out.
Yeah, but I mean that's counterintuitive because if half the planet in a day got infected, there's something very aggressive and potent about it one way or another. You know what I mean? Like I know it's just a what if kind of scenario, but yeah, I mean,
Well, let's
but
say, I mean, like,
they're relentless. I mean, a lot of like what I've read and seen is like if you're running away from a zombie, like eventually you have to rest. It doesn't.
right, right.
That's kind of the problem. And their masses, they'll lean up against, the window of your house until enough of them get there and push through and finally break through. And, it's that relentlessness. That's, we definitely were quicker than them, more intelligent than them, but that like, non-stop drive is the problem. That's the biggest obstacle.
Is that they would just keep coming after you.
Right. It like never stops. They never give up.
Sometimes, and all of you guys can do this as well. The next time you're walking through a mall and you see all of those people that are walking around you, just imagine for a moment, if they were all zombies, do you think that you would win?
I don't go to the mall very often, but yeah. And if you're deep, like in the heart of Woodfield, that'd be rough.
It would,
That'd be real
yeah,
rough.
yeah, yeah. It would be tough. I mean, so what is your ideal zombie killing weapon.
Ooh. Well, it depends. If I'm trying to be quiet, probably like a good solid machete,
Okay.
you know. Um, if I'm not trying to be quiet, a small caliber, like a Glock, so a small caliber weapon, but that holds a lot of bullets per clip.
Okay.
Um, but I guess if I want to get really ideal, a fully fueled tank.
I don't know. They got stuck in that tank in Walking Dead.
Yeah, they did, but I don't remember. I think that thing was already stuck there when they got there,
That's
and he had no
probably
idea how
true.
to use it.
Yeah.
Um, Spoiler alerts if you haven't seen the first episode of The Walking Dead, because I
Well,
think that's like the first, maybe leading into the second episode kind
yeah,
of
yeah, and yeah,
stuff there.
because the first season is only 6 episodes long. Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys can knock out that first season in a nice long day.
yeah,
You know, um, I remember watching a video in which they talked about balancing all these different types of weapons between how fast you can reload, how much damage they can do to each zombie, to try to find the ideal zombie killing weapon. And you want to know what they came up with?
yes.
The ideal, of course you do. That was
Well,
kind of redundant.
I might have to adjust my zombie preparedness plan.
The ideal zombie killing weapon is the lightsaber.
Oh, that's not fair.
I
That
know,
doesn't help me in my zombie
I know,
preparedness
I know.
plan. Of
However,
course,
however,
like lightsaber. Okay, go on.
okay, sorry. However, they did say obviously the lightsaber doesn't exist. So, with current technology, the best ideal weapon we have, and the guy pulled out a samurai sword like Michonne has in the
Yeah,
Walking Dead, because they're very quick, they're very easy to use. As long as you keep it sharp, you don't ever have to worry about like reloading it or anything.
right.
Um, and so that was the ideal zombie killing weapon. So I think I'd like a nice sword, but um, I'm kind of digging um, the crossbow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I kind of like that. I
yeah.
The reload times are really kind of slow on it. So I probably wouldn't mind having some nice, relatively easy to use assault rifle. Are you still there?
I am. I
Did
am.
I shock you?
No, no, sorry. It's been a long day. But yeah, I mean, if I can get my hands on a lightsaber, that's fantastic. But the katana is fantastic. But I think like pound for pound, like just if I like a gun, because I don't know, like I do not have ability with a crossbow at all,
Yeah.
and I don't think they're going to give us time to practice. I'm not sure. Do zombies recognize timeout?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Like,
they do. I think it's part of the Geneva Accord.
yeah, I think you have to make it with your hands though, because they don't understand language. But the
Right.
symbol, when you do the T with your two hands, you're good.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever works. I mean, when it comes to killing zombies, like if you look around wherever you are, whoever you are, you probably have within reasonable reach a good number of zombie killing weapons.
Yes, indeed.
You know, remember, go for the head. But going back when you're talking about 28 days later and like 28 weeks later or whatever it is, 28 days and 28 days later, those technically I don't think are zombies because it's like the rage virus and something or other. Um, I know they like kind of fall into the category loosely, but there's something else. I don't know.
I suppose
It,
so, but if you're going to go that route, then one of the pinnacle um, thriller video games, Resident Evil, most of those wouldn't be considered zombies either because they're mostly diseases. Um,
yeah,
the T virus, the S virus, the all the freaking different viruses that they've used throughout the series.
yeah, but that's like a horror game that they're just trying to, they call it like zombie, but they have to have all these different bad guys and villains, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And something like that, like for just content, you know, and shock and awe in that game. Because that game's all about surprising you and, you know, trying to make you jump a little bit.
Well, the original ones were. The newer ones don't do that as much, but yeah.
Well, it's gotten harder and harder to do that.
It is.
You know
It is. Yeah. And it's funny how something with such terrible graphics in comparison to nowadays was scarier to play than the games that look amazing. But
well, like getting back to Left 4 Dead, when I'm playing Left 4 Dead, and you know, sometimes I play and I wear headphones, and there's like a witch somewhere out there,
okay,
and a hunter somewhere out there, and you're hearing like they're like the crying of the witch and the growls of the hunter, like that'll get your blood up a little bit. You'll like start to like, at least for me, like I start feeling tense. Like where the hell are they? Like where are, like just attack me. Just attack me. Like stop like lurking in the shadows. You're breaking me out.
Do you play that game by yourself a lot? Or do you
You know, I'd like, yes, I would love to play with other people. Like the original Left 4 Dead I played with my brother-in-law and my brother, but they never bought Left 4 Dead 2. So yeah, like every now and again I'll jump on, like you said, you know, maybe I play 15 minutes. Oh, excuse me. You know, if I have the day off and I'm just looking to play video games and like I'm not playing a new active game, like I might jump on and play that for a couple hours.
Yeah.
But I think it's way more fun. I've never got to play with four people, and I think that would be a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, I prefer playing with somebody because I think it's harder, which is weird because normally when you have someone you're playing with, it becomes easier. But I find it to be more difficult when you're playing with someone else.
Yeah, depending on the people you play with. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not like in a bad way. It's just more challenging because the AI like just does the right thing.
Yeah,
you know?
and they know where things are, and it's not like I'm over here, you idiot.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I mean, they'll follow you and they'll stay kind of in tight formation, and you know,
not run off on their own.
Right, right.
Well, we'll have to play. My brother has got it, so we'll have to get together and play sometime.
Well, I did just get BioShock Infinite. So
I know, and you're going to be playing
sometime.
that, and I got Gears of War Judgment, so I've been playing that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
yes.
it's my homework.
My
homework is to play as much BioShock Infinite as I can.
All right, we are way over our time, so I hope you guys enjoyed our talk about Easter and zombies. We learned this week that bunnies have nothing to do with Easter, other than some stories that kind of became their thing.
But the full moon does.
But the full moon does, in fact, have much to do with Easter. Is a pinnacle in its importance. We talked about zombies and zombies in the Bible, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Please, guys, remember to like the posts on Facebook, like the videos, comment, share them with people. If you like the stuff. If you don't like it, send a comment and tell us what you don't like. Send us an email. Give us some suggestions for topics. We're always interested in topic suggestions. If you want to be a guest, contact us. We are always open to having guests on to talk. This is I Think You Think, and every single one of you who listens is welcome to be a guest on our show. You just obviously would have to contact us first. So, and you can bring your own topic if there's something important that you want to talk about, or you can just talk about something that we're talking about that week. Anything, guys. So again, that's all I've got to say. James, you got anything you want to wrap up with?
No, I think we're good. Everyone enjoy your Easter. Although at this point, since this will be the second part of the podcast, I hope everyone enjoyed their Easter. I hope everyone enjoys their zombie-related media in whatever form they consume it. Yeah, that's all I have.
Do. All right. Now let me actually stop it.